Hello Stud-Scribers, Red Suit Studs here, and today I'm going to be answering your questions. You guys submitted a whole bunch of really good ones, so I'm going to be answering as many as I can, so let's do it. Mac1864 asks, what is your earliest memory of Legos? And at first I thought it would be getting like hand-me-down Lego sets from my brother when I was really little, but I actually remember getting some of my own Lego Duplo sets when I was really little, probably like 4, maybe 5. I think I remember getting, if any of you remember the Bob the Builder Duplo sets, I specifically remember having a couple of those. So I think that's the earliest of like memory of Lego that I can think back on, is getting Lego Bob the Builder sets, because those had to be some of the first ones I ever built. And of course, I had a couple questions asking about if my girlfriend was going to do a face reveal. I've asked her a couple times in the past. She wasn't as keen on the idea as I am, which I totally understand as a woman on the internet. I don't blame her. But I think it'll happen eventually. I think it's just a matter of time. I think it just kind of comes down to the right timing and how she wants to do it, because, you know, it's her face, so her choice. But I think it'll happen eventually. It's just kind of a matter of time. Brick Labs Studio asks, why did you create this channel and what did you expect the channel to become? So I think I created the channel kind of out of a post-college slump, if you will. So I went to college for radio, TV, and film, and I also minored in music industry. So I had a very thorough entertainment background in college, and so I wanted to do something with it that wasn't necessarily going to work for a TV station or editing for a news channel or something like that. I wanted to do something that was a little bit more independent. I kind of wanted to be my own boss. I don't really like conforming to authority too much when it comes to certain rules. As long as I'm creating something, I want to have my own rules, and I don't want anybody to kind of hold me back in that sense. So it kind of was born out of a need to have a little bit of creative expression, but also I wanted to use my degree. You know, I paid thousands of dollars for it, so I might as well do something with it. And at first I didn't really expect it to become anything too big. I was kind of just doing it for fun at first. Of course, I wanted it to do well. I wanted to have lofty expectations for it. But I think after doing it for a while and not getting immediate success, which as of now I still am not as successful as I want to be, but for a while I can't tell you how many times I considered quitting because I just was fed up with, oh, I'm not getting 1 million subscribers, I'm not getting monetized on my videos yet or anything like that, and I'm still not. But it's kind of a day-by-day thing that I hope one day I can be there. And if you don't start at day one day you won't ever get there. So I kind of just take it one day at a time and one video at a time, one idea at a time. And eventually we'll get to where I want to be, which is millions of subscribers, monetized videos, getting paid to do what I love. So we'll see where that ends up, but at least that's the expectation for now. Now this next one here is a toughie. Philip asks, would I rather collect more Lego Star Wars sets or more helmets? And I think I'd have to go with Lego Star Wars sets. Because, well, helmets are cool and I love collecting them, and it's kind of my brand, or at least it was before I did a face reveal. I feel like with Lego sets, it's just more of something to do. It's more of an activity than just buying a helmet and putting it on a shelf. So I guess just for the sake of not getting bored, I guess I would say the Lego Star Wars sets. Lego and Star Wars guy asks, what was your first Lego set? So I had mentioned earlier in the video about the whole Lego Duplo Bob the Builder stuff, which technically would probably be my first Lego set. But I would also count the Revenge of the Sith line of Lego sets that came out in 2005. Those are some of the earliest ones that I remember like properly building and like playing with, because like the Duplo ones, you know, when you're younger like that, you don't really like build it and play with it, you just kind of throw the blocks around, you know. So I would say the AT-RT, the Clone Scout Walker from the Revenge of the Sith line, and I believe Anakin's Jedi Starfighter. It had a Vulture droid with it too. Those were the first couple sets that I remember like building, playing with, like displaying those kinds of things, like actually experiencing the set more than just the Duplo, just kind of building it and playing with it as a kid with building blocks. So those are probably the first ones that I would consider as my first Lego sets. William asked, what is your favorite piece? Piece number 26047. Look it up. I dare you. B's Lego Depot asks, do you work, and if so, what job to fund your collection? So right now I actually just work a retail job aside from my YouTube, TikTok, social media gig. So kind of the most common job you can imagine. So I actually, what helps fund the collection is that because of this retail job, I actually get a discount on Legos at the store. So that helps out fund the collection for sure. If I didn't have that, I probably wouldn't be buying as many. But very common job, very simple, but the discount definitely helps. Next, I had some people asking me what my biggest or most expensive Lego set is that I own. It'd probably come between either my UCS Venator here, my UCS Millennium Falcon. I also have the AT-AT and the Razor Crest Ultimate Collector Series ones out in the living room. So any of those four kind of come in the range of most expensive or biggest. As far as piece-wise, it would be the Millennium Falcon, but the AT-AT and the Millennium Falcon are also about the same for price. So any of those four, really. I think Django wants to be in the video. Hello. Leviathan Builds asks, what is your biggest pet peeve with Lego? And to be honest, right now, we're kind of in the midst of Bad Batch Season 3. I wish we had more Bad Batch Lego sets. I don't know why we don't have any more right now, because we really only ever had the Bad Batch Shuttle and the Justifier, I believe. So there's really only 2 sets from Bad Batch, and I don't even think there's any from Season 2, because I'm pretty sure Justifier is also from Season 1. So we don't have anything from Season 2 either. So I feel like we got some catching up to do, because I mean, there's that new clone turbo tank that they could have done. There's that new clone assassin ship, kind of, that very like straight, arrowy, needly looking ship. So I feel like there's a whole bunch of stuff they could do. They could do something with Asajj Ventress now too. So I wish we'd be getting some more Bad Batch sets right now. Lego Hightower asks, how long have you been collecting Legos? So I've already touched on this a little bit so far in this video, but kind of with like the Lego Duplo, Bob the Builder stuff, and my Lego Star Wars collection that kind of got started with my brother. But it's probably been, in a total of years, probably at least 20 years, because I've been doing it since I was probably 3, 4, 5 years old. I'm 25 now, so I've been doing it for quite a while. I did have a little bit of a slump in high school where I kind of fell off. I specifically remember the last set I built before I kind of went away from it for a few years. It was, I think, the 2011 TIE Fighter, the one with Darth Maul on the box. I'll put a picture here. You'll know which one I'm talking about. That is the last set that I remember building after not doing it for a good few years. Because I think the next time I picked it up after that was, I think, when I got my UCS Millennium Falcon. And funnily enough, that set was supposed to be the last set I would ever get. That's what I told myself. I said, hey, I haven't done Legos in a long time, but I really just have an itch to do it again. Just real quick, one last set. My mom and I will build it together. She sorted the pieces out, I built it, I would take it home, display it, and that was kind of supposed to be my last hurrah. Little did I know that it would then spawn a YouTube channel, a career, hopefully, of Legos, just out of me wanting to get back into that one set there. So just a little backstory into the collecting there. There was a little bit where I didn't do it, then I got back into it, and here we are. Chico Olares asks what my favorite meal is. Shout out to Chico, by the way. He's been watching my videos since basically day one, so shout out to him. He's a big supporter. My favorite meal, it would probably, I'm a big fan of Italian and Mexican. Those are probably my 2 favorite types of foods, but if I had to really narrow it down, I'll pick one meal from each. I'll say I really love a good burrito. You know, beans, rice, chicken, queso, lettuce, the whole works, everything. Or for Italian, I'd say maybe like ravioli or gnocchi. I don't know if you know gnocchi, it's kind of like potato pasta. It's carbs. It's just a bunch of carbs. So like, it's amazing. GPSDS, also shout out to you, always on the channel, appreciate the support, you're always commenting. What got you into Lego in the first place? It would probably be the fact that my brother was into it. My older brother, he's about 6 years older than me. So he was collecting Lego around the time of like Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones era, kind of those early 2000s. So he kind of had a bunch of those sets. And I remember playing with those. Those were like hand-me-downs to me then, because he kind of had like a Lego phase, I guess. He was kind of in and out of it. He collected for a few years, but then he kind of started getting into other hobbies and interests. For me, it stuck, but for him, it was just kind of a little bit of a phase. So I kind of got all of his hand-me-downs. So I remember either seeing him play with his Lego sets or interacting with them when I was younger, and then finally they kind of got passed on to me. So kind of that early 2000s era of Lego Star Wars through my brother is kind of how I first got into Lego. Lego Hightower asked, how many suits do I have? Of course I have red, gray, black, my birthday suit, and also blue. Wolfpack Productions asks, what's the rarest minifig you own? And I think off the top of my head, it would probably be this Phase 1 Commander Fox minifigure. You can see I've kind of customized him a little bit. I gave him a little rubber band for some holsters, and I gave him a different like visor from one of the clone battle packs. But I think this is probably the rarest one I have. I don't like thinking in terms of worth for Lego, but I think this one's worth probably $200 or upwards, over $100, I know that much, but I don't really keep a tab on too much of that stuff because I don't really like thinking about it like that. I like just doing it because I like it, but I think that's the rarest one I own.